Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Nah, it's been a while, so I'm not like, I don't think I'm ready for this.
You got this, Mom.
I have a fan base. As you can tell, a lot of things have changed, like my hair. The last time, let's take my glasses off. I couldn't think of another way of coming back to YouTube other than to just sit down and talk.
Break down everything that's been thrown at me till I break out of everything that's controlling me. Cause I know, yeah I know that this world's a little crazy, but I know, still I know that this world will never faze me. So I feel it like.
Did I run out of memory? Maybe I ran out of memory.
It would have stopped you by now.
You think?
Yeah.
So apparently I wasn't recording. My daughter literally, she walked by and she's like, no, cut this out. And then she walks the other way and then she stops and she stares at my phone and she's like, you're not recording. Oh my goodness. It's been a while. So, see where to start. I thought I should make a list, but I didn't make a list of topics to talk about. So let's talk business. My business has been growing. And I've been concentrating on that. So that's one of the places where I've been. But reality speaking is I haven't had the headspace to film. A lot has happened, and pardon the dishwasher. We're washing dishes. A lot has happened in my life. It took me a little while to process and barely started dealing with it. And that is my daughter. Anyways, about the end of November, beginning of December, my dad got diagnosed with cancer. Didn't know what stage it was or anything until later on. They told us, you know, he only had about 6 months to live. He was in a lot of pain and had a minor stroke, and he had to go in the emergency room, and that's how we found out that he had cancer. So they released him after a couple of weeks, and he was able to go home for the holidays. New Year's Eve, I went to church, and exactly at 12 o'clock, I called him. And I called him to wish him a Happy New Year's. And told me he wasn't feeling well, and he really wanted to go to the emergency room. So the next day, his wife brought him to the emergency room. He was bleeding internally. And, you know, he was in and out of the hospital after that for a couple of months, and I was in and out of doing my social media because sometimes I was just a little overwhelmed, and life happened, you know, my kids got in trouble. I went through a huge journey with my son, school for the kids. Life happened, and I tried my best to balance it all out. I stopped coming on YouTube because he got even more sick, and I didn't know how to sit in front of the camera without spilling my guts like I am right now. It was really hard for me. My dad got put on hospice. We brought him here, and within about a week, in May, he passed away. And told myself I'd get through this. And that hurt a lot more than I thought it would, because one of these days I'm going to share my life with you guys, but my dad wasn't the most affectionate person there is. I went to as many doctor's appointments that I was allowed. In the end, I felt like him and his wife were making decisions by themselves, which is fine. It is what it is. So I backed off. And I didn't talk to him for like a month because he hurt my feelings with some stuff he said, and I backed off. So when I found out he got sent to the emergency room again, because I had to find out, I dropped everything I was doing and I was there because it's still my dad. So my dad and mom got a divorce. I want to say about 7, 8 years ago maybe. I'm not even too sure. And he lived a very separate life from us. He was always there if I needed him. He was just a call away pretty much. He worked on the street, so every so often I would go and visit him. If I hadn't seen or talked to him in about a week or 2 at the most, I would text him or I would go. He would come over and hang out with the kids for a little bit and stuff. But we didn't have that kind of relationship like where I needed to see him every single day. So I didn't think it was going to hurt me as much as it did. And it knocked the wind out of me. I'm a pretty strong person. So it impressed me how much it affected me. I grieved in my own way. I didn't cry a lot in front of people because that's me. But I would go in my room and I would cry. And sometimes I wouldn't come out of my room. So trust me, YouTube was like the last thing on my mind. This happened in May and we're in August, and I'm finally pulling myself out of this rut that I got in. But it did take them about a month to cremate him, and I think that's one thing that didn't let me heal fast enough. But now he got cremated and he's here. His ashes are here. And I don't know much about grieving or any of this stuff. I just know that there are times where you just feel so overwhelmed with life. Because I felt see, this is why I haven't done YouTube, because every time I tried, I would just cry. You know when you feel like you're so full and you're trying to keep everything together, so any little thing sets you off. That's how I've been for like the last couple of months. I've been trying. I've been trying really hard to keep it together. I and I didn't know how hard it was going to be. Also, and this isn't to throw shade at anybody, but it's surprising how many people leave when you need somebody the most. And I'm very, very grateful for the handful of people that stayed and that checked in on me and still check in on me, because I have like 2 or 3 people that up to now they still call me, they still say, how you doing? I'm doing better. I think my lowest point was I had a doctor interview, and I don't know what happened in that interview, because it had nothing to do with my mental health. It had nothing to do with nothing like that. But at the end of the meeting, at the end of the phone conversation, he said, I'm going to prescribe you some antidepressants for your anxiety, and that hit me hard, because I was like, what the heck, where did that come from? At that point, my anxiety and my depression and my overwhelming of everything was pouring out of me. Like, I didn't even realize it. I said, I can't do this. I can't live my life like this. And so they're sitting there, but I'm not going to take them because it's something I need to get a hold of. I don't think I'm to the point where I need medication. I think I'm at the point where if I don't get my stuff together, I will need it. So here I am now, trying to get my life together. My dad's my dad, and no matter who people say he is, or who he was, or how strict he was, or whatever, the one thing I knew was that he would kick my butt. He would never let anybody else harm me. So that's God. And as you can tell, I'm still dealing with it. And I'll probably be dealing with it for a long time. It's time for me to get up and shake off so much sadness. It's time for me to get myself together and not do it for my kids, and not do it for my husband, and not do it for my brothers or my mom, but to do it for myself. I was already on that path, but with this happening, the path changed, but it didn't. The course changed, but the path stayed the same. I don't know. I'm still finding myself. It's just I took a little detour, and I'm finding myself in a different way. I dyed my hair, as you can tell. I mean, I don't brush it every day, but I'm trying not to brush it every day. I hate brushing my hair. That's what we have scrunchies for. Oh my gosh. With the whole COVID thing, it's been crazy here. Can you imagine a house full of grieving people who can't go nowhere? So they just sit here with all the grief, getting on each other's nerves because everybody's so sensitive and so touchy. And sorry, my vocals. But I am going to start filming again and posting. And now that I got this whole crying thing, because no joke, I would sit in my room and try to film, and I would just start crying and crying and crying, and finally I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna cry anyway, so might as well just film it and get it over with, because I couldn't figure out a way to get back on YouTube without crying. And I think it's just, you have so much bottled up that you need to release it before you can go on. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. I know this wasn't lighthearted at all, but it's something that I needed to do to be able to kind of release everything and put back on. But I mean, as many times as I tried to before, I wasn't ready. And although I cried a lot more than I wanted to, I was ready to do this one. I mean, I still went back and forth about it because I knew I was gonna cry, and I really dislike crying in front of the camera, in front of people, in front of the mirror. Like, I just dislike crying. But God's good, and I am grateful that He's never left me, and we're gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. And yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe, share. I mean, you don't have to share this one because this one's kind of personal, but still, like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you guys can get notified anytime I do upload. And you guys show me a lot of love, and thank you for everybody who's been asking, because I've had people ask. Some of them demanded to know why I haven't been on YouTube, and I mean, we are back, and we're gonna be stronger than ever. Anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. Love you guys, and I'm glad to be back. My handsome over here.
There you go.
They want to see your beautiful eyes.
Eyebrows.
You won't let me wax them.
Never.
Show me teeth. And then I'll see you in my next video. Well, I won't see you, but you'll see me. Bye.
Break down everything that's been thrown at me till I break out of everything that's controlling me. Cause I know, yeah, I know that this world's a little crazy, but I know, still I know that this world will never faze me. So why